So this was quite harsh, although every thought of Gandhi cannot be accepted 100%. Hello everyone, myself Kumar Ujjwal. I welcome you all on the platform of Plutus IAS Academy. Today we are going to discuss Gandhi as a political thinker. You might have studied a lot about Gandhi, his role in national movement, and the different phases and different facts, different events, different processes. But our focus in PSIR would be Gandhi as a political thinker. When we say political thinker, then we have to focus on state, government, laws, governance. We have to focus on politics. We have to focus on role of religion and politics. And Gandhi's thought on politics, on state, on rights, on duties, on Swaraj, on Varnashram Dharma, on decentralization, both political decentralization and economic decentralization. His thoughts also on education, on prison reforms, on laws, on judiciary, on capital punishment, on his new method of political agitation, that Satyagraha, how it was different and better from passive resistance followed by radical nationalist. So, we will focus on not all aspects of Gandhi, we will focus on Gandhi as a political thinker. So, his first thought regarding politics and regarding parliament and regarding state was there in Hind Swaraj, the book Hind Swaraj, that was written by Gandhi in year 1909. This is important because Gandhi finally returned on 9th January 1915. This is 1909. So at initial stage, he was harsh to Western political institutions and he used harsh language also. He was a bit radical. But after return to India, he wrote other various books like Young India and that My Experiment with Truth and Autobiography. And in those books, there is more moderation, there is more inclusive nature of thought. But what we will discuss Gandhi as a political thinker, as it is mentioned in your syllabus as well, that Gandhi on state, Gandhi on laws, Gandhi on government, Gandhi on decentralization, political decentralization, oceanic circle model given by him for political decentralization, which is perhaps the most important one, as Panchayati Raj is based on that, Article 40. And economic decentralization, also trusteeship, which is more considered utopian, more idealism rather than reality. So, various aspects we are focusing on Gandhi as a political thinker, not other aspects. So, first, we will go point wise. First, we will discuss Gandhi on Western political institution. Then we will go on Gandhi on state, government and laws. Then we will discuss the relation between religion and politics. Why Gandhi is called religious secular. So all these are religious secularist. So we will discuss one by one. So first, in Hind Swaraj, regarding Western political system. Western political system. So Gandhi's thought on Western political system was quite critical. He described state as soulless machine. Soulless machine. State represents concentrated violence. Because state has coercive power, state has sovereignty, state has finality of decision. So state involves external regulation, control, discipline. Gandhi was more focusing on self-discipline, morality, self-control, ending the greed and minimizing the needs is the best way to become moral, ethical. So he criticized Western political institution. He criticized Western hierarchical model of human organizations, where there is element of highness and lowness, where there is hierarchy, where some tiers are up, some tiers are down, there is subordination, there is control, there is external regulation, there is external discipline. So he rejected this hierarchical model. He was critical of the excessive centralization. He was critical of the state. He described the state as soulless machine, concentrated violence. Regarding liberal democracy of West, he correlated liberal democracy of West with fish market. Fish market. In fish market, everyone seeks his own interest, does not caring for the interest of the others, completely selfish, trying to get the best deal by hook or by crook, where means does not matter, ends matter. What you get, how you get, that does not matter. But Gandhi was idealist. He was always favoring purity of both means and ends. So Gandhi was always favoring that liberal democracy of West was fish market. It was based on selfish control, selfishness. In liberal democracy, atomistic view of society is being followed, that individuals will pursue rationally calculated self-interest. So it is presumed that individual is bound to be selfish. Individual must be rational. Individual must take care of his own interest. And sum total of individual interest is social interest. Gandhi strongly rejected that. Gandhi was less focusing on rights, more focusing on duties. A moral person will take care of his neighbor more than himself, will focus more on duties rather than rights. Only one right a moral individual will have, that he will be allowed to perform his duties. While liberal democracy, Western political systems are more focusing on rights, on individualism, on materialism. Gandhi found lacunas in materialism, and he favored morally perfect society, stateless society, also called Ram Rajya, as final end, final objective. Morally perfect society, where there will be moral individuals who will be taking care of others. There will be no external regulation, there will be no external control, there will be no selfishness, and there will be coexistence. There will be no hierarchy. So he compared liberal democracy as fish market. The reason is, in liberal democracy, people pursue their self-interest, rationally calculated self-interest. This is based on materialism. There is no element of spiritualism or morality. And one of the sin, according to Gandhi, in his book Young India 1925, politics without ethics is a sin. 7 sins he talked about: that pleasure without consciousness, knowledge without character, commerce without morality, religion without sacrifice, politics without ethics, science without humanism. They are sins. So, politics without ethics is a sin. And here there are no ethics, there is no morality, there is only selfishness. Gandhi was quite harsh on parliamentary model of the West, particularly of English model. He correlated parliament with prostitute. He was quite harsh in this regard, that prostitute changes its clients frequently. Similarly, parliament changes its government. So this was quite harsh, although every thought of Gandhi cannot be accepted 100%. And presently we have parliamentary democracy, parliamentary form of government. So it's not that all sayings and all thoughts of Gandhi to be followed 100%. So he was quite harsh to the Western political institutions where there are no morality, where there is selfishness, where there is only materialism, where there is excessive centralization, where there are so many sins. So this is the first point regarding Gandhi's political thought. Gandhi described politics as snake that surrounds us. Gandhi says politics is just like snake and we have no choice but to live with it. We must develop an art to live within politics. In politics, there are contestations, there are conflicts of interest, there are conflicts of ideas, there are conflicts of perspective, there are conflicts of ideas, ideologies. So, conflictual aspect of politics is dirty, of course, but it is bound to take place. So, Gandhi correlated politics with the snake. So, this is his negative sense of politics. It's not that politics has only negative aspect. One side of politics is conflict, and the other side of the coin is conflict resolution or cooperation, which is more relevant, which is more applicable, which make politics so much relevant and useful. When we see conflictual aspect, then we say politics is dirty. But contestations, conflicts, divergences, conflict of interest, conflict of ideas, conflict of personalities, conflict of perspective, they are bound to take place in diverse society. So, first regarding Western political system, the word Swaraj was coined by Dayanand Saraswati. It was followed by moderates, self-rule under benevolent guidance of British Queen. Radicals also use Swaraj, where there will be British Queen only will be titular head. Swaraj was used in a different way. Then Swaraj was my birthright, natural right by Tilak in 1916-17, Home Rule League movement. But Gandhi added a new dimension to the Swaraj. Swaraj literally means self-rule. And self-rule was ensured by giving greater representation to Indians in all branches of administration. But for Gandhi, it was not only self-rule, it was rule over self. Primarily, it was rule over self rather than rule of self. Rule over self means self-discipline, self-regulation, morality. So, rule over self. And when all individuals will be morally perfect, there will be no need of state. There will be Ram Rajya. There will be morally perfect society. So, this is first aspect regarding his political thought. The second aspect that Gandhi discussed was the role of religion and politics. So this is quite interesting. The reason why I am saying interesting, because most of the modern thinkers favor separation of religion and politics. And this is the reason why Gandhi's thought is unique in this regard. Gandhi on religion and politics. Religion and politics. In contrast to the most of the modern thinkers, including Nehru, Gandhi favored organic linkage between religion and politics. Organic linkage. Why there should be organic linkage? Because religion, according to Gandhi, is the source of morality. And politics, dealing with the public issues, conflict resolution, morality is urgently required. Although morality is required in all walks of life. But in politics, religion, the morality is urgently required. Politics deals with a larger public issue. If you are selfish as a prime minister, you will harm the interest of 140 crore Indians. But if you are selfish in a family of 4, you will harm 3 people's interest. So since politics deals with a larger public issue, damage is more, so morality is more urgently required in political sphere. Although it is required in every walk of life. So, religion is the source of morality, and morality is urgently required in politics. Morality and ethics. Politics without ethics is a sin. 7 sins of Gandhi I have discussed. So there is organic linkage between religion and politics. In fact, politics must be subset of larger religion. All religion teaches us morality. And morality is required in politics urgently. A good Hindu would be more moral by taking inspiration from Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, Mahabharata. A good Muslim would be more inspired from Quran. A good Christian from Bible, and so on. All religious texts are about morality, about sacrifice, about ethics, about social service, about selfishness, selflessness. So, for Gandhi, there must be organic linkage between religion and politics. One cannot be moral without religion. Every religion teaches us morality. So Gandhi did not favor separation of religion and politics. But Gandhi was against communalism. Communalism is misuse of religion in politics. Communalism is use of religion for political gains, for political mobilization, for political campaign, for polarization. But Gandhi distinguished between religiosity and communalism. If you are religious, that does not mean you are communal. In fact, if you are religious, you are moral. Because you derive moral inspiration from all religion, and that it is used in politics. So Gandhi was not in favor of separation of religion and politics. Religiosity is must. Religiosity is desirable. Religion is the source of morality. And this is the reason why Gandhi is called religious secularist. Religious secularist. He believed in secularism. He was against misuse of religion for political gains. But in public life, on political sphere, when we talked about religion, it does not involve any narrow interpretation or is only ritualistic aspect and so on. Is focus on morality and ethics is there. So this is the second regarding religion and politics. This is quite unique and different from the traditional modern thinkers who favor separation of religion and politics. Then Gandhi favored Swaraj, means rule of over self-regulation. But how it will be achieved? It will not be achieved outrightly. There has to be gradualism. There has to be voluntarism. There should not be imposition. There should not be any coercion. So, the first step towards Ram Rajya would be decentralization. So, regarding decentralization, at both level, political decentralization and economic decentralization. So, regarding political decentralization, he favored revival of Jajmani system. Jajmani system means self-sufficient village economy. In ancient India, villages had ample autonomy. There were no coercive taxes. There was self-rule. There was Panchayati Raj. And Article 40 of Indian Constitution, organizing and empowering village panchayats and empowering them and enduing them with such powers that they work like local self-government. So, power should emanate from below, not descend from above. The real powers must be at the village level. And for that political decentralization, he gave oceanic circle model. Oceanic circle model, which is against hierarchical model, as he rejected hierarchical model. In oceanic circle model, at the center it is individual. A moral individual will be ready to sacrifice himself for sake of village. A moral village will sacrifice itself if the whole block is saved. A moral block will be ready to sacrifice itself for district. A moral district will be ready to sacrifice itself for province. A moral province will be ready to sacrifice itself for the nation. And a moral nation, a strong nation, independent nation like India will be ready to sacrifice itself for the world. If world is saved by sacrifice of the India or one nation, India will be the first to sacrifice itself for saving the whole humanity. So a moral nation would be ready to sacrifice for international cause. You see India's role in peacekeeping operation. They are not for national interest. They are for international peace and security. We have constitutional commitment, Article 51, for international peace and security, which is compatible with UN Charter. So at the center of a scheme of things, it is individual. Marx favored material transformation. Gandhi favored moral transformation of the individual. Because the material transformation which is brought about by force or by coercion or by compulsion is not sustainable, will not be working for long. But if there are moral transformation, that will be sustainable model, that will be forever, that is not coercive. So this oceanic circle model, at the center of a scheme of things, it is individual. So Gandhi was the great champion of individual freedom, because at the center of a scheme of things, it is individual. So this oceanic circle model completely rejects hierarchical model. This completely rejects hierarchical model. In hierarchical model, there is highness and lowness. There is subordination and superiority. In oceanic circle model, is not vertical, is horizontal. They are concentric circles reinforcing each other. There is no highness and lowness. The area of working may be large or less. For example, area of working of a village would be definitely larger than individual. Area of working of the block would be definitely more than that of village. Area of working of a district will be definitely more than that of block, and so on. So in these concentric circles, nationalism is directly proportional to internationalism. Many thinkers, including M.N. Roy and other communists, believed that nationalism was narrow, nationalism led to aggressive nationalism led to fascism, rightist, neoliberal, far right movement. So they believe, many communists believe that nationalism was antagonistic to internationalism. For Gandhi, there is no conflict. Both are complementary. You cannot be internationalist without being nationalist. So Gandhi did not favor national independence for sake of our own material well-being and selfishness and our interest and Indian interest. A strong independent India will work for the international cause. So there is no antagonism between nationalism and internationalism. Both are complementary in this oceanic circle model. And as I said, Panchayati Raj system based on Article 40. Article 40 is based on Gandhism. This is perhaps the most important contribution which has been practically implemented. By 73rd, 74th Amendment, the third tier of the government got constitutional status as well. In Part 9, 9A. Later cooperatives in 9B also got recognition. So, this is regarding political decentralization. He always favored that power should emanate from below. That first, the people of village elect their representatives. Then the village will elect representatives of the block and so on. It's not that central government delegate power to the state and state delegate power to the local bodies. It should be other way around. So first, regarding political decentralization. Second was regarding economic decentralization. Economic decentralization. At the time of Gandhi, there were two dominant ideologies. One was liberalism, capitalism, another was socialism, communism. Progressive ideologies, fascism and Nazism were negative and retrograde. But one of the lacuna of liberalism, capitalism was economic centralization because of private ownership of means of production. Inequality will be very much natural if you have to create more and more wealth. Incentive system has to be there. So the problem with the liberal democracy or capitalist system is economic centralization. So Gandhi favored economic decentralization through trusteeship model. The problem with the communist socialist system was political centralization, single party communist system that led to political centralization. And to reverse political centralization, it must be reversed by decentralization and by this model. So this we have discussed regarding political decentralization. Now we are going to discuss economic decentralization. decentralization. For economic decentralization, there must be cottage industries, village industries, labor-intensive industries. Gandhi did not blindly oppose machines, but machines should not replace human hands. Gandhi favored Swadeshi and boycott, no doubt. But he did not mind to have good watches from Switzerland, good literature from West, medical equipment from England, for which India was not favorable at that point of time. But he would mind import of textiles and cloths from West, because we were proficient in making textiles and cloths. So spinning of wheel, economic decentralization, cottage industries, village industries, Article 43 of our constitution is inspired from Gandhism. So we have not only Ministry of Industries, we have MSMEs, micro, medium, small enterprises. We have Khadi boards. We have more incentives for smaller sectors, priority lending, and so on. So in economic decentralization, Gandhi favored small industries, cottage industries, labor-intensive industries. At the same time, he gave model also. He gave trusteeship model. Trusteeship model for economic decentralization. Gandhi did not favor class war theory of Karl Marx. He favored class cooperation based on morality and change of heart of the capitalist as well as landlords. Trustee means caretaker, manager, not the owner. So, capitalist and landlords will hold capital and land as a trustee, not as owner. A very small part of capital and the land they hold they will use for themselves. The rest of it will be used for the whole society. So they will be trustee, not owner. So Gandhi favored class cooperation, not class conflict. Gandhi did not favor violent revolution and overthrow of capitalist system or snatching of the land of the landlords. No. Gandhi favored trusteeship. If there will be change of heart of the capitalist and landlord, they will work for the social cause. They will work for the social interest. Workers and peasants are the real owners. They are the co-proprietors of the land and capital. And they are only trustee. So this model was considered to be utopian because hardly landlords and capitalists work for the social interest. They mostly focus on their own interest or their family interest. So there was a counter question that if they don't, should one go for violence? Gandhi answered no. Gandhi favored Satyagraha, conscious self-suffering for the change of heart of the evildoer, for vindication of truth, struggling for truth. And if there is moral transformation, then it will be sustainable rather than violence or class war. So this model is considered to be utopian. This model was further reinforced by other Gandhians like Vinoba Bhave. In 1950, he started Bhudan and Gram Dan movement, Sarvodaya movement, Sabka Uday, upliftment of all. That if landlord give their surplus land voluntarily to the landless, they'll be spiritually uplifted. It is their opportunity for them to get spiritual merit. They are already materially uplifted. And the landless will get land, they will be materially uplifted also. So it's a win-win situation. It's not zero-sum game. It's not that by giving surplus land you are a loser. You are gainer. You are gaining spiritual merit. So Sarvodaya, class cooperation. Although it's a different fact that Bhudan and Gramdan movement did not succeed, this necessitated first constitutional amendment 1951, and by that Article 31A and 31B and Schedule 9 were added to keep land reforms laws immune from judicial review. So this was considered to be utopian. Finally, it was made legally binding by First Amendment 1951, because Vinoba Bhave's Gramdan, Bhudan and Sarvodaya movement did not work. So it considered to be a bit utopian, but we have still corporate social responsibility, we have still charity, we have still seen so many super rich people are working for the social cause. So that is partly working. It's not that it is completely rejected. Moreover, our constitution makers also provided for equitable distribution of wealth and resources in Article 39, more egalitarian society. So this is regarding decentralization. Political decentralization is perhaps the most important contribution of Gandhi. So first we discussed Gandhi on Western political institutions, Gandhi on state, Gandhi on politics, Gandhi on political decentralization, Gandhi on economic decentralization. I have already discussed Gandhi on Swaraj. Before Gandhi, Swaraj meant only rule of self. For Gandhi, it was rule over self. Rule over self means controlling our desire, ending our greed, minimizing our needs. And whatever he preached, he practiced himself. Taking less meal, wearing less cloth, ending the greed, minimizing the needs. So no need for becoming selfish. Why we are selfish? Because we have unending greed. We have increased exponentially our needs. This is the reason why we are selfish. So this is third. Another unique feature of Gandhi's political thought. I repeatedly remind you that we are focusing on political aspects of Gandhian thought. Be it state, be it politics, be it government, be it laws. So another very important contribution of Gandhi regarding society and politics. Gandhi on Varna Ashram Dharma. Varna Ashram Dharma. In ancient history, in Sanatan, you will find that various textbooks, 4 Varnas, Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra. Ashram, 4 stages of life, 0 to 25 Brahmacharya, 25 to 50 Grihasth, 50 to 75 Vanprasth and 75 to 100 Sannyas. And dharma means duty, doing your duty as per your varna, as per stage of life. And this varnashram varna system became basis of caste system. So, surprisingly, Gandhi favored the original and ancient system of Varnashram Dharma. Originally, caste was determining one's profession, derived from Varna. Originally, it was based on scientific division of work and specialization of work. If one follows his parental occupation, many things he will get in legacy. Many things one will learn from the childhood, and that legacy will work in ensuring a specialization of work. And if you do your work with a specialization, you contribute more for the society, you get more reward for yourself. So the whole reason of lack of the reason of a scarcity is lack of a specialization. And why there is lack of specialization according to Gandhi? Because people switch from their parental occupation. And why they change from parental occupation? Because of caste rigidity. So Gandhi was not against caste system. Gandhi was against evils of caste system. Against evils of caste system. Caste system should not be abolished. But evils of caste system should be abolished. Originally, it was based on division of work, specialization of work. Everyone was following parental occupation, doing his work with his specialization, contributing more for the society. There were no scarcity. But with the passage of time, it became hierarchical, with Brahmins at the top and Dalits at the bottom. Those who are in the lower, in the hierarchy of caste system, they considered their work menial, less rewarding, less prestigious. For Gandhi, every work, every profession is equally dignified. Work of cobbler is as important as the work of priest. So there should not be hierarchy. All profession, all works must be respected, must be regarded, must be rewarded. So nobody will change his profession. No work will be menial work. Gandhi himself was focusing a lot on cleaning. It's not that only lower caste people will do that cleaning work. He himself was involving in cleaning process. Nowadays we see here Swachh Bharat, before that Nirmal Bharat. So he was against caste rigidity. If people voluntarily follow their Varna-based or caste-based occupation, profession, then there will be no scarcity. So critics of Gandhi, including Ambedkar, considered this as utopian, favoring upper caste Hindus. Why Ambedkar believed that? Because Ambedkar believed that caste structure is the base for all discriminations in the society. As far as caste system survives, discrimination will continue. Without dismantling caste structure, caste-based discrimination cannot be ended. But Gandhi believed that we need not to dismantle caste structure, we need to address the evils of caste system. There should not be any rigidity. People should happily, voluntarily follow their occupation, and in some cases, if they switch to other profession, there is no problem. If provided they work with a specialization, they contribute more for the society. So, many people believe that Gandhi was conservative, Gandhi was not in favor of empowering of the weak, but Gandhi favored for the Harijans, for the weaker sections of the society, be it for lower caste or be it for the women or the depressed or oppressed. He worked in social work. The three most dear issues were Hindu-Muslim unity, upliftment of women, and upliftment of untouchables. These were three most dear issues to Gandhi. But Ambedkar had differences with Gandhi in this approach regarding this. Ambedkar favored annihilation of caste, dismantling of caste structure. And in second round table conference, there were verbal quarrel between Gandhi and Ambedkar. And Ambedkar rebutted Gandhi that how condition of Dalits would be improved if you are not ready to acknowledge that there are depressed sections, they are victimized, they are facing untouchability because of caste system. Gandhi had a very practical approach in regarding this. He did not favor inter-caste marriages or inter-dining. they may create unnecessary social tension. He was more focusing on reforms, that too gradually, voluntarily, happily, rather than any radical change which will disturb the balance and equilibrium in the society, which may lead to caste-based violence, which may lead to backlash. So Gandhi was following a moderate approach in this. So Gandhi favored Varnashram Dharma. Many would be surprised that Gandhi favored organic linkage of religion and politics. Most of the modern thinkers say separation. Many modern thinkers believe that ancient Varna-based caste system was quite discriminatory. It has no achieved status. It is static. It is frozen. Your birth will determine your privileges, underprivileges, position, occupation, profession, prestige, reward, award, and you have no chance to change it. While class is dynamic, which is based on achieved status, caste is rigid. But Gandhi had different version on this. So Ambedkar and Gandhi had sharp differences on these issues. Gandhi preferred political reforms and then simultaneously social reforms. But for Ambedkar, social reforms must precede political independence. Ambedkar believed that if power would be transferred from British elites to upper caste Indian elites, the Dalits would be more oppressed than before. Anyway, so that is the difference. So Gandhian Varnashram Dharma. Then we also need to discuss in Gandhi's whole political thought the smaller topics which is already covered, but if you have to write Swaraj, rule over self, besides rule of self. Rule of self for Gandhi is secondary, rule over self is primary. Rule over self means controlling our desire, needs, ending our greed. And gradually, if we move towards moral perfection, then there will be Ram Rajya. Ram Rajya. There are many confusion that he was favoring Hindu system or particular religion, how it will be appealing to non-Hindus. But for Gandhi, Ram Rajya does not involve any particular religious sect to be dominating over the others. No. Ram Rajya for Gandhi means stateless society. And that stateless society will be achieved only after moral perfection of the society. And that moral perfection would be achieved only by ending the greed and minimizing the needs. And that will be gradual. That will not be instant. That will not be imposed. So Gandhi is called enlightened anarchist. Enlightened anarchist. Anarchists are those who favor stateless society. Marx favored classless stateless society. But Gandhi favored stateless society. Gandhi was not against class division, but only transforming class war into class cooperation through trusteeship. So, enlightened anarchists are different from the Western anarchists like Prodhan. Western anarchists favored complete dismantling of the state and the things will automatically balanced after some conflict. Prodhan claimed that property even was a theft from society. But Gandhi's path, why is called enlightened anarchist? Because Ram Rajya or stateless society is the end, but not outrightly, not instant, not imposition, gradual. Gradualism is a core part of Gandhi's political thought. And this is morally perfect society. In morally perfect society, there will be no need for external regulation. There will be no need for external control. There will be self-regulation, self-control. So, this is what Ram Rajya is, means where all will coexist. They will have complementary role. Duties will be given preference over rights. Claim of rights is selfish. According to Gandhi, in Ram Rajya, where there will be moral perfection of the society, a morally perfect person will focus more on duties rather than rights. Only one right one will have, that he will be allowed to perform his duties. So unlike Western liberal thinkers, Gandhi focusing more on duties rather than rights. So these are the subtopics relating with that I have discussed earlier also. Then even for Gandhi, there was no need for army, because nationalism and internationalism are complementary. We have no enmity with other country. We will play complementary role with other. Even if there is war, the troops should become fodder of the enemy's cannons. And by that, their change of heart will take place and they will stop war. If we retaliate, the violence invites greater violence and it will be unending, casualties would be more. So this is also considered to be utopian. So in domestic sphere, there will be no need for state and control. That is Ram Rajya according to Gandhi. The next topic that we need to know about Gandhi, which is also very, very important, is Gandhi on Satyagraha. Satyagraha was introduced as a new political weapon in India by Gandhi. Earlier, the radical nationalists Lal Bal Pal and Aurobindo were following passive resistance, public meetings, arousing anti-British feelings of the people. But what next? They were not knowing. But in Satyagraha, not only arousing anti-British feelings, but voluntarily giving court arrest. Satyagraha means Satya ke liye Agra, struggling for truth, fighting for truth. Truth is the end, non-violence is the means. Nobody knows absolute truth. But the only way to reach the truth is adopting pure means. So Gandhi is idealist, as he favored purity of both means and ends. Means and ends are just like seed and plant. From a pure seed only, there can be pure plant. An impure seed will lead to impure plant as well. He claimed that if we get independence by violence, violence is of course a impure means. Independence is of course a pure means. If we get independence by impure means, violence, even if we get independence, our society will be violent, everyone will be armed, and even if British leave, there will be civil war, there will be fight among themselves. We have seen so many countries like Algeria who fought together against imperialism, French imperialism. But once French were out, they were fighting with each other because everyone was armed. So we need independence. We need pure end, but by adopting pure means. So Satyagraha means struggling for truth. Satyagraha involves conscious self-suffering. Conscious self-suffering for vindication of truth. The 3 methods of Satyagraha he used initially. In Champaran, he used the method of civil disobedience. DM's order he did not follow. So a satyagrahi is knowing that what will be the consequences. In Ahmedabad mill strike, he used another method, fasting, for self-suffering, not for suffering of others, for change of heart of the evildoer. Again in Kheda in 1918, he used another method of satyagraha, that is non-cooperation, asking peasants not to pay taxes irrespective of consequences. What they will do? They will arrest you, they will confiscate your property, you will be suffering, but be ready to accept those sufferings because you are fighting for truth. And a true satyagrahi is fearless, because there are two sources of fear. One is, if you are doing something wrong, you will be fearful, or you have fear of pain, or you want to avoid the pain, then also you have fear. Here, you are fighting for truth, so you are morally on higher ground. So first basis of fear is terminated. Second basis of fear is that avoiding pain or not taking up the pain. A satyagraha is voluntarily taking up the pain, voluntarily giving court arrest, knowing what he is doing, conscious self-suffering. Because every human being, even evildoer, is the human being. There is divine spark. We need to address that divine spark in the evildoer. So if we appeal to the divine spark of the evildoer, that will be leading to change of heart, and the changes brought about by change of heart is durable, is sustainable. And in Satyagrahi's dictionary, there will be no hate. No hate for any human being. Hating evil, not the evildoer, because evildoer is also a human being. So there will be no hate for evildoer, because evildoer is also a human being. And a true satyagrahi will use non-violence as the mean, truth is the end. And for Gandhi, non-violence is in much broader sense. It's not only avoidance of physical injury or not supplementing anyone to ensure injury to others. Even if you are hurting others by your speech and expression, you are doing violence. Even if you are thinking bad for others, it is violence. And even if you are allowing others to have pain, agony, then also it is violence. So, Gandhi gave two examples of positive concept of non-violence. One, calf in his ashram was suffering from incurable disease, and hypothetically his child was suffering from rabies, hydrophobia, and final stage, no cure, no medical treatment, death was imminent, pain and agony was unbearable. So it will be non-violent act to take away its life, to relieve it from all pains, agony. It is based on goodwill. So Gandhian non-violence is quite broad. And adoption of pure means is the only guarantee to reach the truth. Gandhi did not rule out the possibility where satyagrahi may be on the wrong side. It may be possible that those who are going for satyagraha, they may be wrong, and the so-called evildoer are not evildoer. Even in that case, the truth will vindicate, truth will prevail by adopting pure means. So, a true satyagrahi will be fearless. And if Gandhi had to choose between two evils, one cowardice, another violence, then Gandhi will prefer violence, not cowardice. Because satyagraha is the weapon of a strong. Only a strong person will have conscious self-suffering. A weak person will retaliate. A weak person will react. Reaction will not have tolerance limit. Weak person will not fight for the truth. Weak person will be self-centric. So, सत्याग्रह मजबूती का नाम है, मजबूरी का नहीं. Means it's a symptom of strength. Only morally strong person can practice satyagraha. Weak cannot do this. And satyagraha can be followed both individually and collectively by passive resistance, was practiced only collectively. And Satyagraha led to mass Satyagraha. In April 1919, Gandhi called for All India strike against Royalist Act. This was the first All India strike. All India strikes, sectoral strikes, railway strikes, industrial strikes were there before, but it was the first All India strike which met with grand success. This is the reason why 1919 onwards till 1948, it was Gandhian era. And then by using Satyagraha, the numerically superior peasants and workers were enlisted, their support were enlisted, and the movement became mass movement, because no movement in India can be a mass movement without participation of numerically superior peasants and workers. So be it non-cooperation movement, be it civil disobedience movement, be it Quit India movement, the social, geographical base of the national movement was expanding, participation of more and more people were taking place. And mass Satyagraha was possible only because it was introduced an Indian political origin, replacing passive resistance, in which people can participate, all people can participate, women could participate, students could participate. And this is how social and geographical base was expanded. So, Satyagraha had many advantages in relation to passive resistance. So, we have focused in brief about Gandhi's political thought, like the questions may be of different nature, because if you write answer based on guess, not because truth and non-violence everyone can explain, but if it is asked in exam, you have to write all dimensions of non-violence, negative aspects of non-violence, positive aspect of non-violence, violence by physical injury, violence by speech and expression, thinking bad for others, and you have to explain in terms of means and ends. So they appear simple on surface, that you have elementary knowledge, you know, but answer writing in PSIR is technical in this regards. This considered so simple on surface. You have to be very precise, you have to be technical, you have to adhere the word limit, time limit. Then only you fulfill the demand of the question asked. So that's it for today. We'll be discussing more in the next class. Thank you.